Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome all of you back to this Sunday afternoon where we are going to actually discuss the Rosechu as a species. And as you can see, my head is comfortably covering this picture, and I'm pretty sure this is a Rosechu. I love that expression there. But I'm pretty sure that's also, a traced source of Chris's Aunt Karina lying on a bench. At least I hope it is. Rosechu is the name used for the predominantly female gendered specimen of Chris's imaginary species of electric hedgehog Pokemon. Appearance. Rosechus, much like their mostly male counterparts, resemble certain video game hedgehogs in general appearance, with the females of the both species having longer and softer head spines that superficially resemble human hair from a distance. The only distinguishable attribute is a slender and elongated tail with a very sharp tip. Even so, not all Rosechus have this type of tail, some lacking one altogether. Like Sonichus, they come in many recolors, but a typical Rosechu has pink fur like its larval form. There may also be some other distinguishing characteristics, such as wings, tails, or drill hands, but generally the only things distinguishing one Rosechu from another fur color and clothing choice. Whereas Sonichus can fully retract their eyelids, most Rosechus always have the top eyelids slightly lowered, lending to the impression of a vacant look. Yes, see, you can see right here. Certain Rosechus sport a visible behavior, navel. This is particularly as navels are present only among placental mammals, which electric hedgehog Pokemon are definitely not on account of them laying eggs. Navels are not universally among Rosechus, probably because this was, something Chris was too lazy to draw. While Rosechu, Lolisa, Simola, and Zapina are seen having navels when their bellies are exposed, the same does not apply for Angelica and Bubbles, for some reason. Behavior. Oh fuck it, they all act the same. And this links straight to women's rights. That's not a good sign from Chris, I must be honest. Rosechus and reproduction. Oh boy. Chris has loosely based the autonomy of the Sonichu and Rosechu's reproductive organs on those of humans and dogs. What a great start. A Rosechu's vagina is normally hidden from view by a flap of skin, which recedes during urination, sexual arousal, or a psych-up attack. Rosechu's nipples appear only when aroused. For sensual massage, this implies that a Rosechu must be sexually aroused to feed her own young. What links does that lead to? Pedophork. Must be sexually aroused to feed that is horrifying. Rosechus possess a V-shaped pouch. Don't we all? Behind their vaginal opening, which apparently serves the same function as a uterus. Proof that, again, Chris does not seem to know the difference. First-time sex may be painful for Rosechus. Understatement of the century, if you ask me. Even causing them to bleed from their hymen, but it soon begins to feel like a sensual massage. If impregnated, that's a big if, the resulting zygote is gestated within the mother Rosechu for a few months, after which the Rosechu lays an egg outside of her body, and must keep it warm until the infant Sonny or Rosie hatches. This indicates that Rosechus are some kind of monotreme, despite the fact that mice and hedgehogs upon which Pikachu, Raichu, and Sonic are based are placentals. However, their biology is inconsistent, as the original Rosechu is depicted menstruating, of course there would be, in Sonichu issue 10, a function found only in primates. Also, egg-laying mammals lack nipples, and nurse their young by sweating milk from their pores of their skin. I did not know that, and for good reasons. These may be down to a unique quirk in the reproductive system of Rosechu's, though it is all likely that Chris would ever put this level of thought into anything. Slow in the minds. Also, there's this. Bride Sonichu, one of the infamous basement Rosechus that Alec Benson Leary tried to breed with Asperchu. Except he didn't. Also, what's up with her legs? They kind of just like sprout out of nowhere. And they don't even go anywhere either. Chris has mentioned that a Sonny is born as the result of intercourse between a Sonichu and a Rosechu, or some combination of the above and a Ditto Pokemon. It is never explained how a Rosechu and a Ditto would copulate, but presumably the Ditto would mimic a Sonichu. Well, it doesn't have to, but... The gestation time of a Rosechu pregnancy is unknown. However, Sonichu and Rosechu's two eldest offspring, Sarah and Christine, were born on the 29th of June and the 6th of October 2006, respectively. Robbie, the couple's third hypothetical child, was born on the 26th of February 2007. Given that there are 99 days between the first two dates, and 143 between the latter two, any of several things can be hypothesized. The gestation time of a Sonichu is about 3 months, and Sonichu and Rosechu wasted no time getting back on the saddle after their first child. 2. The gestation time is closer to 4 months, and Christine was a premature birth. Their fucking eggs that gestate outside of the body, meaning they could have been laid any number of months before their birthdays, with the additional implication that Sonichu and Rosechu had a shotgun wedding if the gestation period is longer than 3 months. Or Chris paid no mind to the matter at time when selecting birth dates for his characters, and never noticed the logical impossibility of the Sonny's birthdays because he is an idiot. All things considered, the last option seems most plausible. The only IRL animal that can possibly gestate shorter than a Rosechu is a kangaroo, with a period of a single month. However, given that Chris has no knowledge of reproductive systems outside of humans and this fucked up hybrid, the last option is still most plausible. Which also leads us to another question. Mainly, Chris's perception, or rather knowledge of sexual organs or sex in general, is A, reliable, B, confusing, or C, he doesn't have a clue how the system works, which is pretty bad considering he spent most of his life looking to get laid and spent most of his time focusing on reading Goosebumps or R.L. Stine and dreaming about his date ed education as opposed to learning the things that mattered, like sex education. Probably the last one. Rosechus and evolution. Chris seems to hold a rather strange view on evolution. It is largely based on Pokemon. When hatched from their eggs, Rosechus are born as a Rosie. This infant Pokemon can already have a certain subtype. Angelica, for instance, was born as a white Rosie with a flying subtype. After being nurtured for some time, the Rosechu then tends to evolve into their Rosechu form. The path of evolution beyond Rosechu is unclear though. Although when the Rosechu is brought into contact with a Moonstone, the creature can evolve into a Vamprosa. It's worth noting that, like their male counterparts, no evolution of Rosechu occurs due to straightforward leveling. All require a held item or evolution item, and some level of happiness. Garden variety Rosechus have the simplest path, and just need to be happy when they level. You would be forgiven for finding this confusing. That's true. I've went over this before, and I still don't understand half of it. Exactly, just evolve while leveling. Anyway, where were we? When Chris finally created a Wikipedia article for Rosechu, he included an extensive and rather confusing evolutionary path for Rosechus as a species. Curiously enough, however, while most of the Rosechus shown in the comic have some kind of subtype from birth, Chris's ramblings imply that all Rosies start without a type, and only acquire one through external sources, such as being exposed to a moonstone or the other bullshit that can force a Pokemon to evolve in the Pokemon franchise. Drugs or rare candies. The latter might be a more convenient explanation for Sandy Rosechu, who was born without a subtype and evolved into a ground and bug type, presumably losing her electric type. He also retcons the evolution into Vamprosa to say that one merely gets a Rosechu to highest level and then make it happy and in between midnight and 12:05. Chris clarifies that this scheme would only happen if Rosechus ever became integrated into the Pokemon series. That never will happen, but can't fault him for trying, I guess. Another evolution for Rosechu is the Incredible Lioness, but better known as the PMS monster from Sonichu issue 8, that face-raped Jason Kendrick Howe, seemingly analogous to Ultra Sonichu. Rather than gaining power from exposure to chaotic crystals, Rosechu simply gains tremendous strength through stress, closer to the Incredible Hulk than anything else. Because she's a woman, and she can't control herself when she gets into a rage, and the only way to calm her is to tell her that she's pretty, or whatever bullshit Chris means by make amends with deepest apologies, heavy flattery, and promising to do as she wishes, the process also completely destroys her clothes, and she has to have the foresight to know what she's about to go into a blind, unstoppable rage, and removes the clothing, or just put on some makeshift clothes later to compensate. This serves no purpose than an excuse for Chris to draw Rosechu stripping, as the transformation consists of little more than her eyes turning red and her hair growing, neither of which should destroy or otherwise damage her clothing. The fact that she even needs clothes is a bit of an odd point, since several of the Rosechus never wear more than shoes, so a lack of clothing hardly seems to be an issue for the species. Chris also clarifies that the only true and original Rosechu can transform, meaning if Bubbles Rosechu gets really pissed at someone, she's shit out of luck. And also, Rosechus are on average shorter than their male counterparts. And how? But they all look dead on the inside, and this is the current list of Rosechus. Rosechu, Angelica, Bride, Brit Tay Rosechu, Bubbles, Chloe, Chrissy Chan, Crystalina, Kitty, Lolisa, Mary, Mo, Samara, Sandy, Sylvana, Simona, Trisha, Zapina, and Zelina. And just to make this really, really quick, we're going to just go over these very, very quickly. There's Rosechu there, it's literally just Amy Rose. Angelica, it's just Amy with, painted white, or with no paint. Birdie, which is just a basement retcon. Bubbles, who is just blue. Chloe, just painted purple. Chrissy Chan, which is just Chris, as of 2015. Crystalina, which is supposed to be Chris's, half-sister in the comic. Kitty, which is yet another one of the Serama, which, yeah, okay, whatever. Sandy, which is just the offspring of Simona. Sylvana, which is the only real interesting Rosechu, because she's a half-breed. Well, she's like intersex, born as a Rosie, but also has male genitalia. Simona, about on average, yeah. That whole fiasco is fantastic. I'm gonna pretty much do articles talking about pretty much any of the characters I can find anyway. Zapina, which has bug wings, and Zelina, who I don't even know what that's supposed to be anyway. Well, whatever. I'm pretty sure by the time we get into all of these things, then it will become clear, I suppose. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything you need to know about Rosechus. Ironically, not very much, considering they don't particularly look very interesting, or look anything at, at least Amy Rose in the Sonic games, at least she had a giant hammer. What do these girls get? Nothing. Except the ability to just, conveniently destroy their clothes for Chris's amusement. And with all that being said and done, I hope you guys have enjoyed the Rosechu article of the Quickie, and I will hope to see all of you guys again in the next video. Take care, bye-bye for now.